Welcome to Micromed Educations today. Today's topic is laboratory diagnosis of any infective etiology. So basically there we are going to discuss the various 9 steps for sequential framework for laboratory diagnosis of any infectious disease. Whatever the organism would be there, you have to follow this process and write the laboratory diagnosis. So the first one is sample collection, how to collect the sample, how to transport it, what are the prerequisites for that, macroscopic appearance of the sample, followed by microscopic appearance, in which various microscopy like various staining techniques, followed by culture of the sample in particular medias, then the identification of that if the organism is isolated in the culture, their antimicrobial susceptibility pattern, serological test and molecular test. But this will not follow in each and every one in the same manner. Like the viruses cannot be cultivated, parasites cannot be cultivated. So for that, culture should not be mentioned in the antimicrobial susceptibility testing. But the different methods like serological test and molecular test are recommended, and that has to be done. In today's lecture, we are going to also discuss some important points like just we have mentioned, so you will not make such mistake in your examination. Let's start with sample collection. So what you have to mention is, if it is a bacteria, collect before initiating antimicrobial therapy, antibiotic or antiviral. Strict aseptic precautions should be recommended, precise anatomical site and labeling. Now, how we can understand which sample will be taken? So it based on your etiological agent and the clinical manifestation and the system involved. Like if it is a pulmonary tuberculosis, you know the system is respiratory tract, the lung would be affected, so the sample would be sputum. But if it is a case of meningitis, what would be the sample? The CSF. So before introduction of antibiotic and in aseptic manner. Now how you have to collect the sample, in which container? It may be most probably time it is a sterile wide mouth container. But in blood culture, you have to add the blood in the blood culture bottle. Either can be manual or automated blood culture system. Now the speed and temperature. Understand, the CSF would be transported immediately and that should not be refrigerated. If there is a delay, you should keep it at room temperature because the delicate organism will die. In case of viral infection, the cold chain maintenance is recommended, and for the rest of the sample also, if there is a delay, that has to be transported under 2 to 8 degree. Blood culture water also at the room temperature. Now regarding the transport media, so which could be this transport media and when it is recommended? Like stool. So stool would be the sample in case of dysentery, diarrhea, food poisoning. So in that, a Cariblair or Salmonella Cariblair medium is generally used for the transportation, and for cholera, Vibrio cholerae, alkaline peptone water can be there, or VR medium is recommended. For viruses, viral transport medium is recommended for the transportation of the swab. So these are recommended in which? In COVID infection. Remember this. And or influenza, and general swabs like pus swab in case of abscess due to Staph aureus. If there is a diphtheria, then the throat swab would be there, but the throat swab has to be transported through AMIS or stored transport medium. Okay, now we understood which sample, how to collect, in which we have to collect, how to transport, and various transport media with the various organism we have discussed. Now after you have received the sample, now you have to check its macroscopic appearance. So you have to check for color, volume, consistency, odor, presence of blood, presence of mucus, pus or necrotic tissue, and the granules. Now majority of this will apply for your fungal or the bacterial infection. Like in case of sputum, presence of blood is hemoptysis, that is more likely of tuberculosis. A necrotic tissue is suggestive of necrotizing fasciitis due to bacterial etiology, or it could be due to a fungal infection, like that. So macroscopic done. Now let's discuss microscopy. In microscopy, which are the microscopic? Gram stain, Zn stain, Albert stain, KOH, and some other different stain like India ink for Cryptococcus, LPCB for fungus, Giemsa again for fungus, and iodine and wet mounts for parasites. Now gram stain basically it suggests gram positive organism, gram negative. So like in case of your cholera, it is gram negative bacilli but comma shape. Hanging drop preparation is applied in that direct microscopy where you also find a dating motility. Acid fast bacilli like in case of Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Modified Zn in case of nocardia or coccidian parasite. Albert stain in case of diphtheria and KOH mount in case of fungal infection. Then you have to mention which type of fungus. Aspergillus, that is thin septate, and Zygomyces, it is broad or sparsely septate. India we have mentioned Cryptococcus. Even in gram stain like gas gangrene, boxcar shaped bacilli, something even in case of meningococci, that is gram negative diplococci, pneumococci, gram positive diplococci capsulated. So these are the things why the microscopy is important. These all are useful for bacteria and fungus, not for viruses. Okay, understand this thing. Iodine in wet mount is for parasite. Gyms are also for parasite. Now culture. Understand student, only the culture would be of aerobic bacteria. So it grow on aerobic culture. Anaerobic bacteria, it grow on anaerobic culture. So which medias are used? Majority you have to mention McConkey and chocolate agar. And as per the organism, the selective media. Like diphtheria, we have potassium tellurite agar. For cholera, TCBS. Salmonella, DCA, XLD. Like that you have to remember and write. Fungi, so which culture? Fungal culture, that is on Sebirotodextrose agar. Viruses cannot be cultivated, parasite cannot be cultivated. So don't mention. In your exam, you keep on writing. Those doesn't mean you have to understand, then you can write. See, so virus and parasite are non-cultivable. Virus requires cell line. So basically these two are not recommended because require extra special live cells and everything. So not that routinely. Now here identification by manual automated system only for the bacteria as well as for yeast. And these are conventional methods. So your biochemical test and next generation is by Vitek 2 compact and Malditov. Don't write Malditov for your viral infection. Okay, understand this. Even yeast can be identified by Malditov. Antimicrobial susceptibility testing by again for bacteria as well as for fungi. The methods are modified Kirby-Burr method, that is test diffusion method, or by MIC, in which e-test, automated system, broth microdilution, all can be done. Now understand serology. Serology, understand it can be used for any organism, whether it is bacteria, virus, parasite, fungal, because and in this the basically things are antigen detection, antibody detection. Generally the antigen comes first. Later on there will be antibody formation after 5 days, because immune system will take around 4 to 5 days to mount the immune response. So after 5 days all the antibody related tests has to be advised and prescribed. So understand, in dengue also you have to mention the IgM after 1 week. Chikungunya also IgM after 1 week. Even for Vidal test after 1 week. Typhoid after 1 week. Understand this thing. First is IgM, primary immune response, later on IgG, that is secondary immune response. Now, which are the techniques by which you can identify this is, so either a rapid detection test by immunochromatography or by ELISA. So, antigen, antibody, everything can be detected by these methods. Okay, understood? Let's go with the molecular test. So, molecular test is, again, this can be helpful for diagnosis of all the infection. Bacteria, virus, parasite, fungal. Conventional PCR is there, nested, real time, reverse transcripted. And most importantly, molecular test useful for the diagnosis is tuberculosis. So in tuberculosis you have to remember TrueNAT, CBNAT, line probe assay, because these are frequently asked in your Viva as well. And you should also remember their advantage and disadvantage. For parasitic collection, there will be the majority thing is here in parasitic is microscopy. Dekho, culture is not recommended. Molecular test and serology has some role, but mainly by the microscopy. So stool would be the most probably the sample. So wet mount, iodine mount and concentration technique is recommended. and you have to identify whether it is cyst, trophozoite, eggs, that you have to identify. The most important organism in parasitology is malaria. In malaria, you have to understand, you should know the peripheral blood smear is the most important test, and then rest also a serological test are there. But peripheral blood smear is important in which various malarial parasite is there. Understand malaria is important extremely because it will be asked in your theory as well as in practical. In practical, you will be asked to identify the various malarial parasites in the peripheral blood smears, their gametocytes, etc. An antigen, antibody, and molecular test as we already mentioned. Now understand the master blueprint. So first is sample collection, which sample collector, how to collect, how to transport, in which they have to collect, and then macroscopy and microscopy, followed by culture and identification of fungus as well as only bacteria, not for recommended generally for virus and parasite. Then AST also for fungal and bacteria, and molecular test and serological test for all the microorganisms. Now these are the important points that you should write in your exam when you write a laboratory diagnosis. Like, always specify the specimen collection before starting antibiotic. So always mention collect your sample before introduction of antibiotic, because correct specimen equals correct diagnosis. Culture divide, bacteria use routine media, fungi need STA, virus needs living cells, and parasites skip. Serological detect antigen detection or antibody. Remember, antibody after 5 days. And molecular test is PCR across all. And even a molecular, that is a commercial PCR for tuberculosis, you have to remember is TrueNAT, CBNAT, and line probe assay. And for rest of the thing is biofire assay for various panels, like we have a bacteremic panel, we have meningitis panel, we have gastrointestinal panel. Hope student you understand and like today's video. This video will help you to write a laboratory diagnosis of any infective etiology. Remember, under this heading you have to write, so at least you will get from 6 marks, at least 2 to 3 marks, and you will easy to pass. Thank you so much student for staying with Micromed Education. Please recommend Micromed Education to your peers, colleagues, and other university, and help us to grow. Thank you so much.